Amy, so gonna be having your stage 5 full stage revision again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so let's continue. You are now in very far. One. Okay, second. Which tense do we use after the expression would you say? Which tense do we use after the expression would you say? We use the past tense.
The past tense.
After the expression would you say?
Would you say?
What would you say was the best way to remember something? What would you say was the best way to remember something? I'd say the best way.
The best way.
Best way to remember something. Remember something. Something. Was to repeat it often.
Repeat it often.
Repeat it often.
Repeat it often.
If the sky looks dark and cloudy, do you sometimes decide not to go out? If the sky looks dark and cloudy, do you sometimes not decide not to go out? Yes, if the sky.
Yes, if the sky.
If the sky looks dark and cloudy, I sometimes decide not to go out. Yep, when your shoes look dirty, what do you do? When your shoes look dirty, what do you do? When my shoes look dirty, I clean them. Yep, I throw it away. Again, do we pay the driver when we get in a taxi? Do we pay the driver when we get in a taxi? No, I don't pay the driver. The driver. When we get in a taxi. We pay when we get out of the taxi. Yep, so in your country, do you have to buy a ticket before getting on a bus? In your country, do you have to buy a ticket before getting on a bus? Yes, no? Now, in my country, you don't have to pay to buy a ticket before getting on a bus. You can just pay. When you get on. It's like chain, you know. And again, that's how much is the bus fare from there, your house, to the supermarket? How much is the bus fare from there to the supermarket? The bus fare from here. Yep, there's a to the supermarket is.
200 yen.
Oh, expensive. Yo, how much, guys? 30, 15 pesos. Another is again, how's your country got a royal family? Has your country got a royal family? Yes, no?
Yes.
My country's got a royal family. Royal family. Yep, how do we get mud on our shoes? How do we get mud on our shoes? We get mud on our shoes. We get mud on our shoes. By walking in the countryside. In the rain. Yep, our famous actors often surrounded by crowds when they go out in public. Our famous actors often surrounded by crowds when they go out in public. Yes, famous actors are often surrounded by crowds.
Crowds.
I get you then. Yes, famous actors are. What? Yeah, karma, guys. Yep. Yes, famous actors are.
What?
Yes, famous actors.
Famous actors.
Yes, famous actors are often surrounded by crowds. Crowds when they go out in public. Yeah, just, practice, guys. Are the buses in that town usually crowded in the morning? Again, are the buses in that town usually crowded in the morning? Yes, no? Yes, the buses in this town are usually crowded in the morning. Yeah, have you ever been the captain of a sports team? Have you ever been the captain of a sports team? Yes, no? No, I've never been. The captain of a sports team. Sports team. Yep, tell me the name of a famous sea captain. Tell me the name of a famous sea captain. The name of a famous sea captain is Captain Cook. Yep, another, which is the widest street in the place where you live, and which is the narrowest, which is the widest street in the place where you live, and which is the narrowest. A is the widest street in the place where I live. And B is the narrowest. Yeah, don't make your life so tough, A and B, they're in my neighborhood. And again, what color is the flag of your country? What's the color of the flag of your country? The flag of my country is...
The flags of my
country. How many flags do you have?
The flag of my country is... not black. White and red.
White and red, right? So black. Where's black? Guys, she likes black eyed peas, yo. Again, another. What about this one? Do you know the origin of your national flag? Do you know the origin of your national flag? Yes, no?
Do you?
Yes. What about you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes, I know the origin
of
our national flag.
National flag.
Yes, because it was taught Okay, another. Dude, terrible. Oh my goodness. Okay, name an animal that lives on grass. Name an animal that lives on grass. A horse is an animal that lives on grass. Grass. What happens to grass if there is no rain? What happens to grass if there is no rain? If there is no rain, grass becomes yellow and it dies. Yep. Another. What is the nearest tower to the place where you live? Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? The nearest tower to the place where I live is where?
Tokyo Tower.
I see. Okay, another. So the streets were, let's say for example, dry when it rains. The streets dry when it rains? No, the streets aren't dry. Streets aren't dry when it rains. They're wet. Yep. If you walked in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If you walked in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If I walked in the rain without an umbrella, I get wet. I'd get wet. Yep. If you got wet, what do you have to do with your clothes? If you got wet, what do you have to do with your clothes? If I got wet, I'd have to take my clothes off and hang them up to dry. Yep. So what's a passive throw? What's passive throw? The passive throw is
through.
The sound, not the through, but the through. Another. What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? If you threw a stone at the window, the window break. Also my pocket to change. Another. If your TV, for example, is turned up too loud, what do you do? If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If my TV is turned up too loud, I turn it down. Yep. Okay, let's move down here. What are the reflexive pronouns? What are the reflexive pronouns? The reflexive pronouns are. To be continued. What are the reflexive pronouns? What are the reflexive pronouns? The reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, oneself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. What do we use the reflexive pronoun? What do we use our reflexive pronoun? We use our reflexive pronoun when the subject and object are the same person or thing. Yep, Miyu, is it right to say I looked at me in the mirror? Is it right to say I looked at me in the mirror? No, it isn't right to say I looked at me in the mirror. Why not? Why not? Because the subject and object are the same person. Yep, what must we say? So what must we say instead? We must say I looked at myself in the mirror instead. It's me. Hey, do you think it'd be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? Do you think it'd be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? Yes, I think. It'd be easy for you to teach yourself Chinese. Why? Why? Because you like learning languages. Yep. Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? No, I didn't wash myself. When I was a baby. My mother washed me. Washed me. Yep. So what do you do if you saw? Let's say you, not me. What do you do if you saw a man try to kill himself? What do you do if you saw a man try to kill himself? If I saw a man, if I saw a man trying to kill himself, I'll try to stop him or. I tried to stop him or call the police. Really cool. Okay, you can know. You know, go, go, go. Yeah, have you ever seen a bird washing itself? Again, have you ever seen a bird washing itself? Yes, no? No, I've never seen a bird washing itself. Yep, do you think one can teach oneself a language? Again, do you think one can teach oneself a language? Yes, I think one can teach oneself a language. A language, yes. Another, what do we carry to protect ourselves from the rain? What do we carry to protect ourselves from the rain? We carry an umbrella. An umbrella to protect ourselves from the rain. Okay, from the rain. Okay, let's move down here to the word thorough here. What does the word thorough mean? What does the word thorough mean? The word thorough means complete. In which season of the year do people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning? In which season of the year do people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning? People generally give their houses a thorough cleaning When? In spring, summer,
in
winter? In winter. Also June, right? Okay, another. So if you jumped into the sea, would you get thoroughly wet? If you jumped into the sea, would you get thoroughly wet? Yes, if I jumped into the sea, I get thoroughly wet.
Thoroughly wet.
Thoroughly wet. What kind of things make you thoroughly tired? What kind of things make you thoroughly tired? The kind of things that make me thoroughly
tired
are hard physical work. Studying a lot without break. A lot without a break. Yep, not enough sleep, etc. Yep, if you drove a car on the left-hand side of the road, not in Japan because you're keep left, right? Let's say, for example, in the Philippines, instead of on the right, what did happen? If you drove a car on the left-hand side of the road in the Philippines, instead of on the right, what did happen? If I drove a car on the left-hand side of the road in the Philippines, instead of on the right, I'd have an accident. I'd have an accident. Yep. Yes. Okay, have you ever seen an accident on the road? Have you ever seen an accident on the road? Yes, no? Yes, I've seen an accident on the road. You were there. Okay, now if you took something by accident that didn't belong to you, what do you do? If you took something by accident that didn't belong to you, what do you do? If I took something by accident that didn't belong to me, didn't belong to me, I'd return it. Yep, okay, another. So do people become careless when they're in great danger? Do people become careless when they're in great danger? No, people don't become careless when they're in great danger. They become very careful. They become very careful. Yep, do you write carefully? Do you write carefully? Yes, no? No, I don't write carefully. I write carelessly. Yeah, but guys, she can cook. Good thing. Again, what could happen if you were careless when crossing the road? What's the connection? What could happen if you were careless when crossing the road? If I were careless when crossing the road, I could have an accident. An accident. Yep. Of all the people you know who dresses the most carelessly, of all the people you know who dresses the most carelessly, of all the people I know, what dresses the most carelessly? Huazheng the most? Huazheng dresses the most? Dresses the most carelessly. Most carelessly. Yeah, yes, guys. I'm not really that,
I thought it was me, but you.
Yeah, I'm Loki. Okay, anyways, I'll just have it my own, not you. I protect you. I'm an umbrella. Again, do you own all the clothes you're wearing, or do any of them belong to somebody else? Do you own all the clothes you're wearing, or do any of them belong to somebody else? I own or I don't own. All the clothes I'm wearing. What would you like to own more than anything else? Again, what would you like to own more than anything else? I'd like to own.
What do you want?
You. What do you want? Come on. I'd like to own a house, a car. Which one? A trip to New Zealand again? What do you want?
Maybe a trip to the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, wow. More than anything else.
More than anything else.
Here's the ticket. Hey, ticket. Yeah, I have a surprise for you. You already have the ticket, right? And then again, I'm gonna you. The plane, right? Again, who owns the place where you live? Who owns the place where you live? Which one? I own the place where I live.
I own the place where I live. Yay.
I thought about it. Again, another one. Do people in your country usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65? In Japan, do people in your country usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65? Yes, no? No, people in my country don't usually carry on working. Carry on working after they reach the age of 65. The age of 65. They retire. Okay, what about this one? Let's move down. Have you ever won a prize for anything? Yes, no? Yes, I've won a prize for something.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I won my shirt from
Native Camp.
Native Camps. What? Native Camps competition. So cute. Competition. Okay, what about this one? Give me a sentence with the word to meaning also, please. Give me a sentence with the word to meaning also, please. He wants a biscuit. And I want one too.
And I want one too.
Yep, give me a sentence with the words at least. No, please give me a sentence with the words at least. No, please. I've asked him at least six times. And each time he has forgotten.
He
has forgotten. He didn't do very well in the exam. He didn't do. He didn't do very well in the exam, but at least he passed.
But at least he passed.
It's like a lot of another, which is one of the most widely used English adjectives. Which is one of the most widely used English adjectives. What are the most widely used English adjectives is nice. Is English the most widely spoken language in the world? Is English the most widely spoken language in the world? Yes, English is the most widely spoken language. Widely spoken language in the world. Okay, so why are good manners so important in life? Why are good manners so important in life? Good manners are so important in life. So important in life because they make life easier and more pleasant. Another, what do we mean when we say that somebody has manners of a pig? What? Yes, guys. Yes, I said manners, okay, not pig only. What do we mean when we say that somebody has manners of a pig? When we say that somebody, you can relate. When we say that somebody has the manners of a pig, we mean that they have very bad manners. Safe. At a very big face. Very big face, no Filipino. Face. Okay, another. Do people in very hot countries dress in the same manner as people in very cold countries? Again, do people in very hot countries dress in the same manner as the people in very cold countries? No, people in very hot countries don't dress in the same manner as people in very cold countries. Very cold countries. They dress in a different manner. Yep. So, me, will you still be asleep at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning? Will you still be asleep at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning? No, I won't still be asleep. At 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll be awake. Will you still be awake at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning? Will you still be awake at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning? No, I won't still be awake. At 3 o'clock? Today, awake. At 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll be asleep. Yep. Okay, another. What about this one? Who takes care of us when we are in hospital? Who takes care of us when we are in hospital? Nurses and doctors take care of us when we are in hospital. In hospital. Yep. Answer the following questions with in order to me. Okay. What do people eat? People eat in order to live. For what purpose do people work? People work in order to earn money. What must we do in order to keep in good health? In order to keep in good health, we must sleep well, eat healthy food, take plenty of exercise, not smoke, etc. Only inhaler, okay? Another, what do you think is the purpose of living? I think the purpose of living is to be happy and to make others happy, etc. Wow. I think the purpose of living is to meet you. Another, give an example of soda, please. Give me an example of soda, please. He put the food in the fridge. Food in the fridge. So that it would stay fresh. When you really want to love, you hold it. Again, he put the food in the fridge. So that it would stay fresh. Yep. Are there any notices hanging up in the school? Yes, there are some notices hanging up in the school. Hanging up in the school. Where? Near the entrance. What did he say? They say English only policy.
What? English only policy?
Yes. No Japanese. Hi, no Japanese. Yeah, they said it like that. Again, what is this one? So what are the 3 forms of lie? What are the 3 forms of lie? The 3 forms of lie are...
3 forms of lie are...
Lie. What is the longest you've ever lain in bed for when you've been ill? What's the longest you've ever been lain in bed for when you've been ill? The longest I've ever lain in bed for when I've been ill is about... When I've been ill is about how long?
A day.
A day. So healthy. Only one day. Okay. Another. What is the difference between to point at and to point out? What's the difference between to point at and to point out? The difference between to point at and to point out.
Point at and
to point at and to point out is that.
Point at and point out.
Out is that. We used to point at for the action of pointing the finger. For the action of pointing the finger at an object. Whereas to point out means to indicate something among different things. Okay, another. So this time I'm going to be pointing out the light. What am I doing? You're pointing at the light. And this time I want you to point at the picture in the wall, please. What are you doing? I'm pointing at the picture on the wall. Oh, the flag is waving. Philippines. Okay, another. Point out the mistake in this sentence, please. I've gone to the cinema this week. Point out the mistake in the sentence, please. I've gone to the cinema this week. We can't say I've gone to the cinema this week. We must say I've been to the cinema this week. What are you doing? I'm putting out the mistake in that. Pointing out. I'm pointing out the mistake in that sentence. Correct. Again, in your country, do people visit their relatives' graves? In your country, do people visit their relatives' graves? Yes, in my country, people visit their relatives' graves.
Relatives' graves.
Another. Is it bad for your neck to sleep without a pillow? Is it bad for your neck to sleep without a pillow? Yes, no? Yes, it's bad for my neck to sleep
without a pillow.
Okay, another. Can we have a fire without flames? Can we have a fire without flames? Yes, we can have a fire. Have a fire without flames. Without the flames? Without flames. Flames. Yes. Now you cannot hear guys' mistake. Perfect, right? Okay, another. How long is the flight from there to England? Only example. How long is the flight from there to England? The flight from here to England is about how long?
I don't know.
I've never been to England. Is it 10 hours, 20 hours, 15 hours? Guys, comment down below. Yeah, 10 hours as of the moment.
So long.
So, yes, only came on 1 minute. Again, what are the words may and might express? What are the words may and might express? The words may and might express the idea of perhaps. The idea of perhaps. Yep, so what is the difference between may and might? What's the difference between may and might? The difference between may and might is that. Is that. We cannot use may in the second conditional. Nice timing though. You can drink water now. Have a good day. Bye for now.